If you ask me which one I believe is the most important watch in the history of humanity, I would definitely tell you it's the Speedmaster. This watch represents the greatest achievement in human history. It is the watch that helped countless times the astronauts to live, but above all to return to planet Earth. This watch was designed in 1957, and throughout its history, it has remained practically untouched. You can take, for example, the first version of this watch, and you can compare it to the most recent version, the current version. And except for a few details, if I put one to the side of the other, you probably couldn't tell me which one was the newer one. It is such a perfect watch that it does not need to be changed. It was not only built to be a tank. It's actually the only watch that passed NASA's test. Below zero temperatures, really hot temperatures, impact resistance. It is also a masterpiece of design. Omega showed us that you do not need much color. The only thing you need is a black dial, some white details, and different levels and depth in the dial. In the sub-dials you can see the different levels, comes down, comes up, then on the railing there's another showmanship of depth which makes this watch perfect. Also the Omega logo which is applied, it's beautiful. And that is the only thing you need to create a masterpiece. And I also think that Omega showed us how to respect a legend without ruining its entire history. We have the classic Speedmaster, the professional, with almost no changes, and we can still buy that in a jewelry store. There's some changes, maybe a change in the bracelet, an update to the movement, but it's basically the same as it was 60 years ago. And then on the other side, we have the newer versions, the creative collection, if you will. You have the automatic coaxial movement, the moon phases, the ceramic cases, the meteorite dials. They maintain the essence of the watch and don't disrespect it. But Omega gives us a choice. Do you want the classic or do you want the newer? And this collection doesn't disrespect their grandfather. Now many people complain that Omega releases many special editions of the Speedmaster. And yeah, they probably do. But in my opinion, this is the most important watch in humanity history. So if you were Omega, what would you do? It is definitely the best-selling watch in their catalog. It is the most iconic watch of the brand. And this one that I have right here is one of the most important version of the Speedmasters. It is the 321 with the same reference and movement as the ones that went to the moon with the astronauts. Now, if you're one of those who believe that we didn't get to the moon or whatever, that's okay. Please just don't leave it in the comments. And you can see some difference, maybe on the text on the dial, because this one is called the long S text, because the Speedmaster has a big S. And this watch is so important. It's like having a watch from the same era and the same watch from Winston Churchill's era, or having the same car from the same era as Steve McQueen. And the most impressive part of this watch is that it was created over 60 years ago, and it was built so robustly that its heart still beats as if it had just come out of Omega's workshop yesterday. You can see it's actually at the time, same time, both watches. Review coming next, of course. But this watch shows some character that comes with age. If you see, the dial has become more of a chocolatey dial. It's not black, it's becoming more of a chocolate color. The loom has become more of a beige color. And that's what gives this watch its character, its essence. Anyone with the money can go to a jewelry store, to Omega Boutique, and buy a Speedmaster. Everyone. But not everyone can get a 3-to-1. Even if you have the money, because it is so rare to find these watches. And it is because of its history that I honestly believe this watch is the most important one in human history. Because it represents the greatest achievement we have accomplished as a species. It represents greatness. It represents that there's no limits. But what do you think?